Hey, 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 street people. Welcome to Beards on the Street.
Morning, morning.
Morning,
We
brother.
got a special edition where I get to stand next to you.
I know. What's up with that?
Oh, it's nice.
It's kind of wide, dude. You're like taking up my space. Well, welcome, everybody to Beards on the Street. I'm Perry.
It's Aaron.
And we got a real special episode today. One, my beautiful wife is on our program, which is a first. Yes, I know. I talk about her all the time, so now you get to see.
And wifey came.
That's right.
Okay.
And we've got our son on here, Mason. My stepson, her son, and boy, it's a good one. We're going to talk about some fun stuff, and then Mason's going to go and run his guts out for 24 hours.
I know. I can't believe it.
I know. Like,
I've already run my guts out. Now it's just running.
I don't know how you prepare yourself mentally, dude. Like seriously, I don't get it.
I asked him if he gets anxiety, because I have anxiety just thinking about what he's going into right now.
Right.
Like, wow.
I've had anxiety for 2 days, so
Yeah.
it's normal. You get over it the second you start.
Okay, which part of it? Sorry, I'm just.
Hang on,
jumping.
we got to introduce this young lady from the Single Parent Project. Let's talk about this first.
Yeah, so this is Megan. She's the founder, or one of the founders of the Single Parent Project. This is who we've partnered with for this whole project that we're doing, getting ready to run across America. And what they do is they support single parent families who are in need. There's so many different things that single mothers, single parents need, and just given the
Like somewhere to live, food on the table,
Support
clothes.
well, and little things like extracurriculars for kids, things like that. Like these are things that like my mom can attest to, being a single mom, that like playing football costs $500 or $600 a year to play football. Let alone you throw in the sports like lacrosse, hockey, sports that cost thousands of dollars. You know, the Single Parent Project is here to help support these things because, I mean, now with just the climate of the world and how expensive things are day to day, and how low the bar is for government assistance, there's got to be something that buffers the in-between of being able to support yourself and being on government assistance. And this is what the Single Parent Project does. It basically fills that buffer. It also helps parents above it and in government assistance, but that in-between, which is kind of where we sat growing up, is where they really make that difference. And that's what Megan does.
So, Mason, talk about your crazy journey from when I first started dating your mom. You were
85 pounds.
285 pounds. And I got to tell everybody that the funniest, right? Mason worked for me for quite a long time. We traveled all the time, and
Almost 10 years.
Yeah, we'd go sit down at a restaurant, and Mason wouldn't even look at the freaking menu. He'd just wait till the waitress come over, and he'd say, "What's the biggest plate you got with the most food?" And literally, that's how he ordered his food.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big boy Maz is what everybody used to call me.
So, anyways. You know, he played football and all of that in high school, and then when you got out of high school, talk about when you actually made that switch and started eating really weird and exercising like a madman and all of that.
I didn't start eating weird until recently, quite honestly, but
And yes, he made fish at my house last night.
I did. Yeah, whole food, plant-based with fish, but no eggs, no meat, no dairy, all the things. But that was later. So graduated high school. I had football and track scholarships kind of scattered throughout the country, and ended up taking scholarships at Weber State that I then almost immediately declined because I wanted to focus on school. But because of that, I was just now a fat kid because I put on all this weight to play football, but then I stopped.
85 is not that fat.
But I had all this extra weight and I didn't know what to do, and I was working out still, but just kind of still just heavy. And Sarah's family, my wife, they were going to run a Spartan race in Vegas, and they were like, "Hey, you should come run." And I was like, "All right, I'll run a Spartan race. Like, it's 3 miles. Like, I can train for that." So I lost I ended up losing like 40 pounds so that I could actually like go and run this, and was like, that was the coolest thing I've ever done. I'm going to keep doing this. Lost some more weight, basically to where I'm at now, and started running Spartan races. I raced semi-pro for a little bit, did some pro stuff, and then COVID came around, and I was like, everything's canceled.
What am I doing now?
The whole world's canceled, and so I was like, what can I do? I ended up going, and my buddy had just gotten done river rafting the Grand Canyon, and I was like, oh, that'd actually be kind of cool to run and like see the Grand Canyon that way. He was like, you should do it. So 2 weeks later, no training, I packed a bag and I went and I ran the Grand Canyon. And ever since then, it's
Is
been.
that 50 miler tip to tip?
So I just did rim to rim. You can do rim to rim to rim.
Tip to tip.
Yeah, same thing.
Get your mind out.
Yeah.
Damn, Peter. My hell.
That's what happens when you guys stand too
I
close.
can't take Aaron on the new carpet anywhere.
No, that's you, Dean, not Aaron.
That's usually me,
You,
Aaron.
Dean.
I got to throw it your way too.
But yeah,
So-
basically since then I've been running ultra marathons and
So you're an ultra guy. Is that kind
Yes.
of classification? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, Mom, tell us a little bit about this kid growing up, and actually, I want you to tell the stories about when you used to be in a store and Mason would take off and hide from you. Little shit.
Mason started walking probably 11 months. It was about 11 months. And he was literally running at 12 months. And I don't mean running. My girlfriend, my best friend, lived up the street in Vegas, and she had a slanted driveway. So does his Aunt Andrea. He'd get taking off down there. We could hardly
And you
catch
know
him.
he's going to eat shit.
He never did. No, it was usually us that did. No, we'd take off after him. So I'm going to say from 12 months on, he has always been go, 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 and a runner. But then I think it was when we lived in Farmington, there was a fundraiser for a little boy that had cancer, which was really sad. He ended up passing away. Mason would have been maybe 6.
no, I was 8.
No.
No, because we'd lived in Farmington, so I had to have been 7 or 8.
Okay, so.
Yeah, somewhere there.
Young
Yeah.
anyway. So anyway, the fundraiser was that we were going to run a 5K. Well, we ran the first little bit, and I just thought Mason was going to go with everyone else. I didn't think he was going to actually run a 5K. I used to run all the time. So we get to the
I like
finish
just
line,
running.
and at the time I was married to someone different, and Chad said, where is Mason? And I said, oh my gosh, I thought he was with you. Where is he? He ran the 5K by himself and came across the finish line.
Wow.
He's never stopped running.
No?
No. Short stint when I was fat, but that's all.
Right.
It was a break. It was a break.
He ran, it was just different running.
Yeah, different.
Had a mind lapse for a minute. Okay, so Megan, talk to us about the single parent project. That's I'll give a little story lead in. I know just from what I've been told and what you said, and also Jen last night, is that Mason started reaching out to you guys and bugging the hell out of you because he wanted to represent your charity, correct?
Yeah.
Or your whatever.
Yes, yeah. So Mason reached out. Well, just to kind of give you a little background, I was a single mom. I was a teen mom, got pregnant my senior year of high school. That typically doesn't ever end well. And
Life changing.
That's hard.
Hey,
Definitely.
Dean, you can attest to that, right?
Yes,
there you
I
go.
know all about it.
So that ultimately, just we weren't ready for marriage, but got married anyway. It ended in a divorce, and I found myself in a place where I didn't think I'd be at 25. I was a single mom, 2 boys. My oldest is a type 1 diabetic, so just all these little, extra things that would add up. I was really fortunate. My parents are around the corner. We're around the corner. My brother was around the corner. We were really close. My parents are in a place where financially they were able to help me out. And as I was going through just being a single parent myself, I met a couple people that were in similar situations. And one of my very best friends, she had 0 support, no family to help her out. We were sitting at work one day, we look out.
Scary.
Her car's getting repoed,
Oh.
and she just didn't have those resources. If I ever needed help, I had people to go to. And so at that point, I thought, there's got to be something I can do to help. I could barely make it by myself, but I knew that in the back of my head, one day I'm going to be able to give back. And so, you know, fast forward a few years, I've been remarried, and my husband was a single dad himself, and between the two of us, we just kind of always wanted to give back, and we'd have these conversations at night. And so as the world was getting ready to shut down, I was getting ready to start a charity project, the Single Parent Project. So I just soft launched it, and money just started coming in. People want to help. People want to give back to the single parents. And I wanted to make sure that the single parents that we were helping were the single parents that weren't trying to live off of government assistance and free handouts. They were the ones that were out there working or going to school and trying to better their lives so that they could make a better life for their kids.
Right.
And in the meantime, we want to make sure that we're helping those kids stay involved, like Mason said, with extracurricular activities. My favorite thing to do is to pay for sports and dance and things, so that we know that the kids are out there staying out of trouble. They're not just an iPad kid watching the screen all day.
Yeah. Or
they're
out
involved,
getting in trouble.
or out getting in trouble, right? That's my favorite thing to do, and we'll help everybody from there. But as far as our big grants go, we do make them, qualify for that, and they have to be working or going to school full time in order to receive our grants for, financial assistance.
You bet.
Because it doesn't help them for us to just dish out money and then have them be in the same position that they were in before.
Right.
So if they're truly out there trying to better themselves, like, let's get you a larger sum of money and let's see what we can do to change your lives. So as I soft launched this, my partner Alyssa reached out and wanted to help, and she's got an awesome background in mental health and marketing, and together we just were able to kind of create this to what it is today, which is
That's amazing.
been awesome, and we've really enjoyed it. We have an awesome team of volunteers that help us. You met Jen last night at the Mixer, but we've just got an incredible group of women that have.
Do you have the ability to speak to any of the reach you've been able to create? Like some of the impact that you're making, like specifics at all?
So just for example, I hope Jen's okay with me.
We talked about
I'm
it.
sure she's
mentioning
all right.
things. She was one of the first single parents that we've helped. That we helped way back in the in the earlier
I love that
in the
she's
earlier
involved now
days.
then.
And it's
Right?
been amazing
Yeah.
that she's been able to turn around and help. But she came to us kind of in a crappy situation, and we were able to pay off her car. Her car really didn't have a lot to be paid off, but that monthly payment every month made the biggest difference, because now all of a sudden she's getting that $300 back into her pocket that she can help with her kids. Her kids are fantastic athletes. One of them is just getting ready to head off to college with scholarships.
Well,
and
she was a fantastic athlete, I think.
she was a fantastic
Yeah.
athlete. I know she was a great athlete. I went to school with her, so I remember those things. But to see that come full circle has been awesome.
You bet.
And we've got a couple other women that we've helped that have kind of done the same thing, where they've been around at the beginning, we helped them out, we've seen them come full circle. We just had one graduate the University of Utah with her bachelor's degree recently. It started as something as simple as we had to help her with a safe place to stay because she was running from abuse. And we created this comfort and safe zone for her to be able to come to us, and we've been able to help her kind of find her path. And she is a graduate now and has a better job for her kids and is doing well, and we were able to buy her a fridge like a year ago, but she hasn't needed any assistance since. She's just
That's awesome.
really been able to kind of be
So
self-sufficient.
do you ever collaborate with other charities?
We do when we can.
We need to
stick-
introduce her to Lisa. The Little Miracles charity. I don't know if you've heard about that, but we've had them on our show here, and you guys hand in hand would be
Yeah, we'd love to meet.
amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. We're always looking at good connections. We've done a lot, but we are still very small. So any time that we can collaborate or meet new people is fantastic.
Well, hopefully the Mixer. By the way, everybody and anybody that showed up last night, holy
so
cow.
much.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Thank
It
you.
was freaking packed, and from the get-go, like at 5 o'clock, when I rolled in there at 5:05, it was already half
Love
full.
it. I
So
love it.
520.
Well, we had
Yeah.
donations coming in. I sent a text. I said the Mixer must be going well, because I get notifications as donations come in. I had them coming through till this morning. So
excellent.
We love
See,
that.
that's what it's all about. That's
Yeah.
why we do that. We do it for two reasons: to help whatever charity it is, which this one is pretty near and dear, but Also, the whole reason we have those mixers is so that people can network. People can just get together, and one thing happens with another thing, and it's magical. It's pretty cool. The people that can link up at our little mixers that.
I know of, I think, 4 or 5 single moms that were there in attendance.
Oh, yeah.
I talked with a handful of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
single dads. So,
and single dads, you know,
Yeah, well,
it's
that's-
not just single moms.
Yeah. It's single
That's what
parent
we started.
project. Right,
When we
single
started
parent
it, it was
project.
like, we need to make sure that the dads are taken care of too, because they're not always as vocal about needing the help,
Yeah.
but they need the help. And if anything, come for the community. We have support groups twice a month, and they're family. It's amazing to watch them. I mean, we've had people whose daughters have graduated high school and they've thrown parties, and everybody from the support groups come, and it's not something that we've put on.
Right.
They've just created that friendship and that community, and
Takes a lot
they all
for someone
support
to-
each other, and it's great. So dads are always welcome too. I know that our team that runs our support groups would love to see some men come. So
Well, why don't you, let's give you a plug here. How do they reach out to you? How do they help you? How do they get involved?
you can reach out to us through our social media. It's the Single Parent Project, both on Facebook and Instagram, or feel free to reach out if you send an email to info at singleparentproject.org. You can send that information over.
And is that just if you wanna
If you want to get
volunteer?
involved, if you want to volunteer, if you need help, we'll get you to the right place if you start out with the emailing over that info.
Sweet. Say that one more time.
Info at singleparentproject.org.
And then obviously their website is singleparentproject.org.
Yeah.
Okay?
I used to give my phone number out, and I don't do that anymore. Otherwise, it's nonstop.
Her
So
phone number is,
If you give me your number, I'll volunteer.
okay, perfect.
Deal?
We love
Deal,
we love
okay.
volunteers. We've one thing that I didn't even mention that is, I said my favorite thing to help with is extracurricular. That's a big word.
is a
early in
big
the
It's a
morning.
tongue twister.
It is, right?
Right?
But one of my favorite things that we do is Christmas. We provide Christmas for single parents every year.
So awesome.
And over the course we just finished our 4th year, and I think we're at like almost 600 families over the course
gosh.
of the 4 years that we've been doing this. And this is
Oh, gosh.
this is like you would come in and sponsor a family, and you go do all of the shopping, and then you bring the gifts, and the family comes and picks it up from us.
Hey, there's your December charity.
There you
Yeah.
go.
You know, we did something similar. What's Rob's the Thanksgiving project or something like
Yeah.
that?
We deliver
The
food.
Thanksgiving Heroes is awesome.
So good.
Thanksgiving Heroes is so cool. In fact, we have done Thanksgiving in the past, and it just, because of them, I'm like, we're just gonna
Like, it's
send
big.
people there because
Yep.
we don't do as many as they do, and they've got it all down packed. Our thing is Christmas.
There's another good collaboration.
Yeah.
See, we got all kinds.
I know,
for you.
I love it. I'm glad that you know him. But we do a free Christmas event. We had Santa and his reindeer have been at our office the last 2 years, and then we've provided Christmas for families.
Please make sure you
So
include us.
that is
We'll
one
love
thing.
it.
Yeah, we do backpacks for back to school, and those are things that we don't care if you're working full time or not. We know your kids need Christmas. Like
Exactly.
So those are the things where we're not as strict about the qualifications. We just want kids to wake up Christmas morning and be happy.
Yeah.
And
You know, let alone Christmas, it shocks me, the numbers that you see, the statistics that you see of how many kids here in Utah go hungry.
yeah,
It's insane.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, Utah has a lot of food deserts in highly populated areas, so it's really hard for families to get adequate access to food.
Oh,
And so it leaves a lot of these families without, well, it leaves them having to buy fast food, but when you have to spend $4 every meal on every person, you can't
Or
afford
more.
that. Yeah, so then you get families that just won't eat because they can't get to a grocery store because they don't have a car, because the nearest grocery store is 10 miles away.
or more.
And that grocery store also doesn't have any fresh produce, so it's just a bunch of random crap.
Processed crap.
Yep, and so there's actually, Utah has a problem with food deserts, which is very interesting given how affluent the state of Utah is. But we do have a lot of food deserts that create those situations. It's very interesting.
Well, I'll tell you what I read the other day, actually yesterday. For the second year in a row, Utah is ranked the #1 state to live in. And they take into everything into account, you know, crime, cost of living, employment, you name it, all the way across the board. And for the second year in a row, Utah is number one. It's pretty cool.
It's a cool place. Not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
I love it. So let's, it is Mother's Day weekend, and happy Mother's Day, my beautiful wife. And that's kind of why we're doing this weekend. So Mason came in from Missouri, and this crazy kid is gonna go here in about an hour or so.
Hour and a half, yep.
And he's gonna start running, and he's not gonna stop running until tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. So 24 hours.
I saw on your socials that you think it'll be 100 miles?
That's my goal.
Okay.
100 miles is the goal. Yeah.
Wow.
So come out and support this kid. It's at the 11th Avenue Park. Do you know the address, the actual address?
It's like 581 Terrace Road. My phone's right there.
Okay, no worries.
I'll post, if you just go to my social media, it's Buff Runner on Instagram, I'll have it.
Oh, that's weird.
It's already in my story. The address is already linked in my story. You just click on that Google Maps link, and I'll post it again tomorrow morning. The event itself, so while I'm running for 24 hours, the actual event itself is tomorrow. It starts at 9:30, and then there's a fun run at 10:45. There's a bunch of businesses that are coming out. We have massages, we have live music. We have a little video game
They have
tournament.
us.
Yeah, them. There's actually going to be a little video game tournament going on. We have cornhole, and then there's going to be some fun snacks. There's going to be kombucha. It's going to be a whole thing. I know you don't like kombucha, but
I do.
There's a whole
Shit's
whole
nasty.
event that's going to be going on, and that starts at 9:30. Then there's a fun run where we're all going to run this final mile together. So that's going to start around 10:45, depending on the pace that I'm moving and where we're
Why
at.
am I picturing, like, you know, when you see the people that are on the missions or whatever over in, say, Africa, and they're walking along and they've got all those kids around them? That's what I'm picturing.
No, that
It's like
Forrest
Forrest Gump, that's what
Yeah,
came to my mind.
I think of Rocky when they're running down the street in Philadelphia, and
Oh,
you get like
see, he's got bigger aspirations. We're Forrest
no,
Gump.
see the Rocky one
He
is
slows
what will
down, the whole
happen
crowd stops. Come on.
The Rocky one will happen when he does the run
when I run across America. The Rocky one.
All right, let's talk
Right.
about that. So this is a prequel.
Wait,
so
hold
to say.
hold on. The event. Come to the event. It's at 11th Avenue Park. The fun run starts at 10:45. Everybody come.
Yeah, come out and join us and have a good time, man. It's just gonna, it's such a great
Hey,
cause.
and Graham, my brother, is the DJ, so it's a full family event.
It's gonna be that boom, boom, boom.
More techno.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron.
It's
Aaron,
house music,
House
Dean.
music,
Get it
yes.
right.
House music.
Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
Excuse-moi. Okay, so I've got the slide up, Mason. Talk about your road to 3434. He's basically, guys, he's going to go from Seattle to Miami in 69 days.
Yeah, so I'm gonna run across America, and
You go, Forrest.
yeah, but that's going from Seattle. Now, given the shirt, I have it on underneath this, but with this shirt, this is the official artwork.
I got it up.
Cool. This is the official artwork for the project now. You'll see the Space Needle. We were going to start at, what's it called?
Vegas?
No, the Vegas?
Seattle
Vegas?
Space Needle?
No, not the Space Needle. What's the market?
Stadium.
The market.
Oh, Pike's Place.
We might still start there because I kind of want to go coast to coast, but now with this, I might have to start there. But anyways, we're going from Seattle, and then we're running all the way.
Tomatoes, dude. Come on.
We're running all the way across the United States until we get to South Beach, Miami South Beach, where I will end in the ocean. And the goal is 69 days. Yes, it's for the joke. Also, it is for the fact
Stop
that
there.
one of my best friend's birthdays is on April 2nd, which there's a window of time that I have to do this because Laramie Pass in Wyoming is only open because of the snow. There's a very small window of time that I have to make it, and so I have to start. So April 2nd, so I picked my buddy's birthday. Also, April Fool's feels like bad luck, so not starting that day. And then my birthday is exactly 69 days away. So the goal was sub 70, and then I was like, oh, this is perfect because I can end on my birthday, start on his birthday, 69. It's
Aaron,
perfect.
get your mind out of the gutter.
Just-
What are you doing?
It's an anchor.
But the whole reason, I've been wanting to run across America for a couple years, but this is something that, I can go run for 24 hours. I can go run 100 miles. I can do these big runs for myself. But when you're, 50 days into this run and your legs hurt and you're having trouble breathing and you got to go run 50 more
All
miles,
your toenails have fallen out.
you've got to have there's got to be something
Nipples are
else.
rubbed raw.
Yeah. There's got to be something else that keeps you going. You know,
Yeah.
like it can't just be for you. And I was like, if I ever find something that really resonates with me that I want to run for, I'll run across America, but only if there's a greater good for it. Like it's not just for me. There's got to be a greater good. There has to be a reason for this. And it just kind of like, I was just sitting on my couch. There was no like crazy thing. I was just sitting at home. I was doing homework.
Hey, Sarah, I think I'm just going to run across the whole United
That's
States.
basically exactly what
Okay,
happened.
I'll
So,
support you the whole way.
Right.
but I basically was
Sarah's
like,
his wife, by the
yeah,
way.
this is my wife. But I was like, I'm gonna run for single parents. Like my mom, my aunts, like Sarah's mom was a single mom, you know, and all. I was like, this is perfect, and such a forgotten group of people, because especially single moms, because you guys just get up and do the shit.
Maybe
every
not
day.
forgotten, but truly underappreciated.
Yes. Well, and I say forgotten in the sense of like assistance from the community, because
Right.
they wake up and they just do the shit
Right.
every day and without any questions.
Make it happen.
They make it happen, and so they kind of get pushed to the side because they get it done. They do it. So they don't have the time to ask for help. And so I was like, this is perfect. This is what we're going to run for. So yeah, then I went to Sarah. I was
Or
like,
maybe they're a little proud to ask for it.
yeah, which, you know, is the case in a lot of cases. But I went to Sarah. I was like, what do you want to do before we have kids? And we talked about that. And then she was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to run across America. And her whole thing was, she was like, okay, but I get to live in Miami because she loves Florida. If you do this, I'm like, all right, I'll run to Miami. Perfect. And then I was like, well, LA to Miami is boring. I love Seattle. Well, let's just run from there. And that's how it happened. So then I routed it out, and I don't know if the graphics still pulled up, but you can
No,
see.
I can bring it up. Bam.
Yeah, you can see and I mapped that whole thing out. I spent a couple of months mapping that
How
out.
many states are you running through?
14.
14.
Yeah, 14 states.
By the way, that QR code on there, guys, you can hit that on the screen and donate. It's a great cause. And let me kind of throw this in here, Mason. This is a major, massive freaking undertaking. It's not just Mason out there doing his thing. I mean, he's going to have tons and tons of support, not only with people that are going to be supporting him along the way. I mean, this is 2 months, you know, and it's going to take a lot to even just prep and get all the necessary things that you're going to need in order to even come close to
This is why it's
that.
2 years away.
Have you reached out to the Iron Cowboy?
Yeah, I have.
He's
Yeah,
local,
I've
okay.
talked with him. I was lucky enough to run with Paul Johnson, who just got done running across America. I ran with Andrew Linder, which
How long did it take him?
52 days, but he did a different route that was less miles, and he's also, that dude is insane. Paul Johnson's crazy, but Andrew Linder, who's actually currently running across America and finishes in 8 days, he's doing it with a 15-pound weighted vest.
Wow.
Yeah, he's wild. I got to run. I ran
50 or 15?
15,
Okay.
1-5.
Why?
Because no
Because
one
he
else has
can?
done it. Yeah, no one else has done it. I also will be the first person to do this route. One other guy's done something similar, but I'll be the first person to do this route. But yeah, I'm losing my train of thought. But it's just,
So anyways,
I think
the
Megan
QR
ready
code
for
was
some
there.
major support coming.
Yeah.
With the visibility and the
my goal, and I don't know if I've actually said this to you, but my goal is to raise $100,000 by the time we're
Heck yeah.
all said and
Awesome.
done with this.
Dude, you hear that, people?
Track that, have that up so it,
No
so
doubt,
if
and
people
keep
can
it
see
so
what it's
people are
going.
seeing how close you're getting.
Yeah, we'll start a tracker.
Yeah, start it from last night. It's
Yeah.
perfect time.
So yeah, we'll start a tracker of everything that's been done, and we'll talk about that. It's you got to get the coding on the website to
Right.
and that's a whole thing. But we'll
Just
get
throw it
that.
there.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually, and you guys will be able to see. But this is like, you know, there's a whole bunch of other things that are going to happen leading up to this. You know, we're running around Lake Tahoe at the end of this year, and then I'm going to run across the state of Utah. I'm going to be doing the speed project. I'm going to be doing 30 marathons in 30 days in all 29 counties in Utah. I'm going to be doing an
Because running across America is not enough.
no, I'm going to be doing an ultra murph, which is run a marathon, 1,000 pull-ups, 2,000 push-ups, 3,000 squats, run a marathon in a 30-pound vest. But all of this is to prepare to run across America and to raise awareness for the Single Parent Project. That's why we're doing all of this.
Man, Mason, I love you, kid, but you're flat freaking crazy, kid.
Well, see, I'm doing all this because it
Look
is
how
fun.
excited he is.
I know.
Dude, it's fun.
He's on fire, dude.
But it's
That's
like,
exciting.
you know, the big reason why I think running is important in all this is because it is so. Running is, I mean, it's hard. We all know how hard running is. What up, Finn?
Oh, welcome the Finster to the show. He's our special guest. It's been a minute since Finn's been on the show.
He's out of camera now.
But the whole thing about this is like every step that I take along this journey, whether it's today or the Ultramurph or running across America, like every step that we take will never equate to the work that single parents put in every day. And so it's just a way to show how hard these parents work. Is you see how hard these things are that I'm doing, but running across America is easy compared to the things that single parents have to do every single day.
Yeah, the alone night trying to figure out how to pay something.
Yeah,
Right.
the long nights, the long days. I mean, and it's your whole life. I have the luxury
And all
of
the
having
stress
a crew.
on top of it.
Like-
how am I going to pay this bill? How am I going to feed my kid? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that?
And I'm blessed enough that I get to do these things because of my mom. And
Yeah.
so, like, it's one
Your
of those
mom's
things.
an
of-
amazing person.
I'm yes, very.
I
very-
have
And not just
amazing
because,
kids.
not because she's my wife and I freaking love her, but your mother's an amazing
I don't know
human
how the
being.
hell you pulled that off. That's another subject, another day.
Bam!
I don't know how you pulled it off.
Yeah, Dean married up like 10 tears, easy.
On next week's episode.
Right. I've got a couple qualities.
Yeah, one.
Literally.
You've got lots.
You have a good beard,
Right.
and you have cool tattoos.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, that's doing this all for
I did
single
marry
parents.
up, no question.
I mean,
I
I
know
don't.
it's funny because when I was, I think it was actually before I was even wanting to date your mom, and Matt, my buddy Matt Schultz, he was like looking at me going, dude, she's high class, buddy. She's a Nordstrom girl. Are you sure?
Dean, we've been
But-
all as we've been doing this for over a year. We've talked about kind of focusing in on, because we do monthly charities. It's a good idea we kind of stick with one. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You mean to carry it out
Can carry
month
it out,
after month?
Carry out, focus on it.
Yeah, to
rely
really
on it.
try to build momentum for it and
Maybe
So-
finds ones that support.
yeah. Oh, like the
Project.
collaborations. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, look what we're think tanking here, and we're coming up with stuff.
Hey, maybe we
right
can
now.
work something out. If you guys do that, we can get your logo slapped all over everything for Run Across America.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Get it on the RV, get it on everything.
Right.
So
Okay.
let's talk.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Perfect. All righty, man. So real excited. I've got to cut this off because I know Mason's got to go. I mean, he's only going to run for 24 hours here in an hour. Jesus. So anyways, thank you everybody for joining us. And please come out 11th Avenue Park and hang out. Come and see the fun stuff. Root Mason on and our fat asses because we're going to run a little bit with him. Try anyways. And yeah, love you guys, man. Thanks a ton for coming on our
Thank you.
show
Thanks for having
and letting us make you a part of our mixer last night.
Happy Mother's Day to both of you.
Happy
you.
Mother's Day to you,
Thank
and happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Love you, Mom.
Moms are special, man. They're awesome. All right, people. Love you long time.